Hello and welcome to this video edition of the Talking Heads podcast. With me, Saul, in my potting shed at Stonelands, and Lucy, who we'll see later in her greenhouse at home. Today we're going to show you how to sow tomatoes and grow them on ready for the season ahead. Firstly, take your tomato seeds. At Stonelands we grow several varieties, but today we'll be using a classic indoor and outdoor tomato, and that is Elsa Craig. Using your preferred compost mix, at Stonelands we use a 2-to-1 peat-free based bark compost mixed with John Innes No. 1 and a little bit of perlite to add for drainage. So take either a module tray or a pot. For this demonstration we're going to use the module tray, and then fill with compost, ensuring all the space is nicely filled, level off, and then tamp it down. Take your chosen tomato seed and carefully place 2 seeds per module. This ensures that if one seedling fails, you have a spare. Place them on opposite corners to ensure they have the maximum amount of space to grow. Once the seeds are sown, sieve a thin layer of compost or vermiculite over the top. And finally, don't forget to label it with the variety and sowing date. Right, now we've sown them, let's go and take them into the greenhouse. While outside is a great opportunity to water the seeds as well, but be gentle, you don't want to wash the seeds and compost away. So, we're now here in the greenhouse at Stonelands. We've got lots of seeds already on the go, already to be planted out in the next couple of weeks. But for tomatoes, as they can trace their ancestry back to South America, they need a little bit more heat. So something like a heated propagator or a heat mat will do. Just place it within, cover up, and hey presto, in a couple of weeks your seeds should be germinated and ready to prick out. And that's when we go over to Lucy.
Thanks, Saul. So these tomato seeds of mine have been in the propagator here, sit at about 18 to 22 degrees since the 28th of March, and we're now at the 2nd of April. And I actually spotted today that one of them has already started to germinate, so they are quite quick. And then the next stage on from your tomato seedlings looking like they're just nudging through is this. And these again have been sitting in the propagator to get that little bit bigger. They've now got their first true leaves, and this is the point at which I like to then get to the stage of what we call pricking out. First of all, you need to fill some decent sized pots with some multi-purpose compost, not seed compost but multi-purpose now because it's got a bit more nutrition to it. Then make a hole in the centre of each pot that's been well watered with something as fancy as a pencil. And then we'll get our seedlings into the pots. So this is a lovely little tomato called Sweet Aperitif, a little red cherry tom. Very carefully, just give the pot a little bit of a squeeze, and then without crushing the seedlings, cup your hand over, tip it up. And then we can gently squeeze the compost and break the individual seedlings into clumps. And then, by holding the little seedling leaf, just gently squeeze the compost and get some individual seedlings that we can then put into our pots. So be really gentle when you do this. Feed the roots into the hole and then gently press the compost around the base of the tomato. As I say, I'm always holding the seed leaf here rather than the stem or the true leaves themselves, because if this gets damaged, it's not the end of the world. If you crush the stem, then the plant will die, so we don't want that. So yeah, really gently just work them in. I should add that the ones that Saul was sowing earlier on, he's got a really big propagator, so he can afford to sow his straight into large pots. But for the likes of you and I at home, who have got smaller propagators, what we'll do is sow them as I did into that red pot, and then have this stage where we then prick them out into individual containers, because it just allows you to then maximise the space that you've got in your propagator and get as many veg seeds in there as you possibly can. There we go, job done. So this is the finished pricked out tomatoes. I've given them a water in, and now I'm going to put them somewhere lovely and sunny and well lit. It's going to be about maybe 18 degrees centigrade, nothing lower than 12, because tomatoes are tender.